Hello, welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I am Razzle11 or Razzle11 Grinds on Twitter. Taking a look at today's pitching options, today being the 11th of April. Sorry. Uh, Weather's starting to warm up around the country. Some better hitting spots showing each and every day. But we do have some spots to take a look at here. I haven't had a chance to take a look at any projected ownership or anything, so I'm just kind of going off the top of my head. We see a couple of interesting price points for DK on this slate. Going to start kind of in the middle here. Two guys that stand out to me based on their pricing. Pablo Lopez has thrown the ball extremely well for the Twins in both starts, and now he takes on a White Sox team that just lost Tim Anderson yesterday. I assume Anderson's going to be out because I did read that they were calling up Lennon Sosa, so I would imagine that Anderson is out of the lineup for at least today. So uh, Lopez is a very interesting option. He's put up almost 56 DK points in his two starts, but yet his price has now gone down $100 each start. I'm not really sure why, but that's somebody I'm going to go pretty heavy with, and so is Alek Manoah. A lot of people's trendy Cy Young pick coming into the season came out of the gate, struggled quite a bit, but then bounced back against Kansas City. Had some control issues. Strikeouts aren't really there yet, but it's just a great spot against Detroit. So I'm not really sure why he's only 7,700, to be honest with you. As far as maybe finding a cheap guy to play, I'm actually looking at Josiah Gray, which is a little scary. Uh, we saw the Angels make Patrick Corbin look like he's a decent pitcher last night when everybody, including myself, thought that the Angels would put up a ton of runs against them. Uh, Gray actually was really solid in his starting in Coors, so there's some upside to it. And the ballpark in Anaheim plays pretty big, especially at night due to the marine layer and all that. So this is kind of a sneaky spot for as an SP2 on DK. I really don't expect the win to come going up against Otani, but I think Gray can be solid, if not serviceable, um, as an SP2 option. Go up a couple guys that I'm kind of going to be ignoring. Merrill Kelly. I know he's had some pretty strong starts in his career and been a little unlucky to face the Dodgers twice to begin the season. I just don't really like his upside. And as I talked about with Lopez and Manoah both being in the 7Ks, like Merrill Kelly at 7-1 just does not intrigue me at all. Uh, Similar to like Alex Wood going against the Dodgers, I think he's going to be pretty solid, especially against a team like the Dodgers, with his ability against left-handed bats. But I just don't think this is a spot. Only made it through 3 innings, despite only allowing one earned in his first start, throwing 71 pitches. I just don't think there's enough upside, and obviously, like I said, Manoah being cheaper is such a huge deal. Um, Lance Lynn is a guy that I'm going to be fading yet again. 4 home runs allowed in his two starts, totaling 10 innings. So I'm just not a fan. And his price went up $600 on DK. I'm not really sure I understand the pricing algorithm right now after an atrocious start against San Francisco. So Lynn is going to be nowhere near my lineups tonight. Then there's the conundrum that is Corbin Burnes. This price point is probably the lowest we've seen him in multiple years. He's looked terrible to be in the season. Strikeouts aren't there. A lot of off the field stuff this offseason. I mean, not really off the field. The arbitration process did not treat him kindly. Um, I just don't know what to do with him. If we think there's a bounce back coming, it obviously could be tonight. I mean, last night, Zach Gallen against the Brewers had struggled the first two starts, and then he just absolutely dominated last night. So there can be kind of a little rule of three thing going on here. I generally think that like players, professional athletes, or even in college basketball, if guys have struggled a couple games in a row, generally that third game is a bounce back. And if we follow that thinking, then Burnes has got to be in line for a sneaky good spot. But I think I'm just gonna have to fade until I see it. I just don't know what's wrong, and I think there's just better options for us tonight. Speaking about some better options that I'm gonna have to dig in more about the direct matchup to get an idea, because we have Dustin May who's looked really strong. I just wish his K numbers would go up, but he's been so strong. And San Francisco does strike out a bit. And then obviously DeGrom was filthy last start after struggling a bit in start number one. And he gets Kansas City, who struck out roughly 187 times last night against Andrew Heaney. Um, and then Otani, of course, against Washington. So there's going to be, I don't know, it's going to be tough. I don't know that we're going to be able to get a ton of DeGrom Otani lineups together, but they are both priced under 10K, which they shouldn't be. So that's a big thing. And thankfully, Otani gets the extra day of rest because he did throw 111 pitches in his second start. So that's a little shocking to see right out of the gate for Otani. But with that said, I think every lineup has to begin with one of these two guys at the top, and then kind of see how it goes. But it's going to be really tough to ignore the Manoah and Pablo Lopez price points, which is making it really easy for me to clearly fade the Lance Lynn, Corbin Burnes, Alex Wood price range, and then even the Merrill Kelly, Peterson probably will draw some ownership. But yeah, there's just guys down here that I just don't want anything to do with. So this one feels pretty straightforward to me. So there we have it. There's the look at today's pitching options. If you could hit the like button, I would really appreciate it. Even jump on the subscribe button. That would be great. Helps DFS Army out a ton, bringing you these videos on a daily basis. And if you want to join us over at DFS Army, you can use promo code RAZ, R-A-Z, for 10% off your monthly membership. I'll put a link in the description below. And as always, best of luck, everybody.